a recent report that just came out and says that 4 out of 100 people in Singapore are millionaires. That's a lot of millionaires, right? So the absolute number of millionaires in Singapore is a whooping 244,000 millionaires. And, this is by an independent survey done by this wealth migration specialist called Handler and Partners. I don't know them actually, but that's a 2024 wealthiest city report. And Singapore, given that we only got 6 million people, 200,000 millionaires is a lot of people, right? And actually, that has not even account for those people that are centimillionaires. That means that their wealth is $100 million and above, and are billionaires as well. I don't think that many compared to millionaires, but millionaires, right now, people say you throw one stone in Singapore, also 1 millionaire, right? I think there's some truth to the statement really. But more importantly, today's video, we should cover what do you mean by a millionaire, right? Which part of your wealth is considered a millionaire? Does your property count as a millionaire? Does your CPF count as a millionaire? Your cash, your stocks, your children, your wealth, whatever, right? So today, we will attempt to answer this question by an independent yardstick. Interestingly, Singapore has now more millionaires than our previous colonial master. London, which is one of the richest cities in the world, has now lesser millionaires than Singapore. So I thought that's a very interesting thing, and that we should overtake our previous colonial masters. We should feel very proud of ourselves. And how do we rank globally? So right now, there are only a few cities that's outdone us in terms of wealth, in terms of millionaires per city. So New York City and the Bay Area, which is the San Francisco Bay Area, has a huge amount of millionaires around, more than Singapore, right? On average, they are more than 300,000. More importantly, these are US dollar millionaire, not Singapore dollar millionaire. Tokyo has more than us, and that comes Singapore. Like we should be very proud of ourselves. Interestingly, the growth over 10 years is about 64%. That means Singapore has grown leap and bounds in the 10 years. If you were to look at the number of billionaires, I'm surprised to see that the Bay Area actually has so few billionaires. I would imagine that the Bay Area, where Silicon Valley is, there's so many billionaires. But anyway, there are 60 of them. Singapore has half of New York City and Bay Area, which is quite a lot, right? Which is quite a lot. We have also half the number of the centimillionaires, US $100 million and above. I think we should be pretty proud of ourselves, right? Someone said, Mr. Loo, what is that we're so proud of ourselves? I'm not the one of them. Well, if the entire tip of the iceberg is getting bigger and higher, then the base below where we are is also bigger. So you need to understand that, these are signals that we're actually doing better, right? So let's take a look on. So actually, this is the most important question. What counts as a millionaire? Which part of your wealth counts as a millionaire? Today, we have an objective yardstick, okay? And some of you might like to hear this, some of you not, but let's see what they say. This is not my yardstick, not my yardstick. This is their yardstick. First of all, they only look at liquid investable asset. Liquid investable asset, right? Money that you can touch, which includes listed company holdings, right? So Mr. Loo invested in some business and startup, all those, no count. Zero, big fat zero, no count, right? Let's say one of my companies is purportedly worth $10 billion, which is not. The $10 billion, there's no count at all. Only listed company holdings, whether I own or I buy a share of it, okay? So my investment in S&P 500, NASDAQ, Apple, Tesla, all this count, okay? If I invest in ABC company that's not listed, no count. The second is cash. Cash count as part of your wealth as well, okay? Cash, obviously cash should count, right? Debt-free residential property, okay? A lot of Singaporeans are property rich, cash poor. So does your property count as well? The answer is it depends. If your property is debt-free, that means no loans, fully paid up, is counted. If it's not, that is not counted. So my HDB had a little bit of loan, right? I can't remember. The last count was about $100,000, something like that, okay? Didn't bother go and redeem it and things like that. So my property don't count. But my Malaysian property should count, although I don't know what's the value of it left, but it should count because it's 100% pay up. So that one is debt free, my HDB is not. So in short, my HDB don't count. And as a result, many of those people who leverage like crazy in your property, no count, okay, no count. Again, I say this is not my yardstick, okay? This is an independent yardstick, which is global standard, okay? And all must be measured in terms of US dollar, okay? And this is very, very important. And I think that's logical as well. If your property is full of debt, or at least with debts, okay, it could be deemed as not liquid wealth and not realizable wealth to some extent, right? So that's why they view it that way. Now, no right or wrong, but I think this is what they view it. Now, the question many people ask is, does this include CPF, right? The report didn't say, because many countries don't have most countries don't have CPF. I'll just extrapolate and say this: that it probably yes, if it's for any amount above the FRS for after 55 years old. Because any amount above the FRS after 55 years old is tangible. So for Mr. Loo, I'm not 55 yet. So although my CPF got a hell of money, none of it count for now. Okay, none of it count for now. So for those people who are 55 years and above, you can touch your CPF already. And if any amount above the FRS, which is about 200,000 right now, that is more or less liquid cash. Okay, so that can count, right? So below that, all no count. So technically, from the CPF aspect, even though I've got $2 million inside with my wife, let's say even half, also no count. Okay, it's not because I haven't reached 55 years old yet. You mean after so many exclusion, there's still so many Singaporeans that are millionaire? That's the truth. So if you include all those in, I don't know, right now 4% of Singaporeans are millionaires. If you include loan, property with loan, if you include CPF, for those people are younger than 55 years old, I think the total amount of millionaires could be double in Singapore. So really, you throw one stone at a crowd of people. Now you don't just hit 1 millionaire, maybe you hit 2 millionaires in Singapore, right? So the question really is, why are there so many millionaires in Singapore, right? Why is it Singapore got uniquely so many millionaires? I will attempt to answer this question. So first of all, we all need to know that our salaries in Singapore are very high, very, very high, okay? A lot of people say, no, all the Ang Moh country all rank very high and things like that. No, no, no. I'm in an Ang Moh country right now. I'm in Europe right now, okay? It's not true that our salary, I have Europe staff working for me, okay? Their pay is much lesser than Singapore, much lesser, right? So our salaries are scarily very, very high, very, very high in Singapore. From an employer point of view, the cost is very high, but from employee point of view, that's great, right? We got great salaries and we can, as a result, accumulate wealth a lot faster. If you look at the GDP per capita, that means the whole country's wealth divided by the population. Actually, very few countries beat us, Singapore ranks very high, ranks 5th in the world. Above us, Norway. Some of them I don't even know whether they're countries, okay? Norway, Switzerland, Ireland, Luxembourg, okay? Yeah. The other few countries, I'm not even sure whether they are countries or not. So this one clearly are countries that are higher salaries than us, okay? But this is a 2021 measure. Since then, many countries' currency has depreciated and Singapore currency has appreciated. I think we are ranked even higher right now. Now, so this is GDP per capita nominally. That means at current prices, okay? But if you use another way of measuring called GDP per capita, but at current international dollar, they call it purchasing power parity. Don't bother why this. It basically means that if you kind of like equalize the prices, you find that Singapore ranks even higher, right? Ranked 3rd in the world, just below Ireland and Luxembourg, okay? This company, Liechtenstein, it's a part of Switzerland. I'm not even sure whether it qualifies as a country, okay? But anyway, so we are ranked very, very high, super, super high, right? So that is the main reason why so many Singaporeans are millionaires, right? We're just very lucky to be born in Singapore for those people who are Singaporeans, okay? So what helped us to become so well-to-do? Number one is we got political and economic advantage, okay? Now, for those people who are anti-PAP, anti-government and things like that, let me tell you categorically, the main reason why so many people are millionaires is because we have a powerful and capable government. And those people who want to who are anti-government whatsoever, I'm not so sure once you vote them out and bring in a new government, whether our international standing will drop, okay? Maybe your wealth will drop. So I'm always very scared when people say, vote PAP kasi, that kind of thing, right? taking political affinity aside, I'm just very scared from a selfish point of view, okay? I know that the main reason why we're here is because we got good government. You take that away, I don't know whether our wealth will stand, okay? So Singapore ranks very high from a business and political environment, and people have certainty and they are very confident of doing business in Singapore. We're one of the most open economy in Singapore. Setting up business, doing business in Singapore is very easy. We have got bilateral free trade agreement and all this kind of thing. All these are very important things. If you go overseas and tell people that you're from Singapore and you travel well enough, everybody has just this amazing admiration and jealousy that you come from Singapore, right? Now, for those people, who think that, hey, everybody is rich except me, well, the opportunity is there for you to grab in Singapore, right? Singapore has all the conditions for you to do well. Our tax regime is very competitive, and we have no capital gain tax, no estate duties and things like that. Amazingly, a lot of people just want to come, right? You made money from a sale of shares that from a property or whatever, they're all not taxable. And that's a huge advantage that we have versus many countries. I would just like to say this right now. Singapore is in its golden age right now. Now, many countries were once in their golden age and then decline, golden age and then decline. Think of the Rome Empire, think of the Greece Empire, the Ottoman Empire by Turkey, think of China, even Malaysia during the Malacca Sultanate was in a golden age as well, right? Many countries were once in their golden age and then declined. The British Empire was one big example. We were all, colonies of the British Empire, and now, look at them right now. They are a current disappointing piece of their past achievement. We are in our golden age right now, without any doubt. Okay, Singapore is just being lucky. But number one thing you need to take note is it won't last forever. All countries, all empires decline. Okay. And so with Singapore, right? So with Singapore, for sure. I don't know whether it will be in my lifetime, will it be my children's lifetime or grandchildren's lifetime. For sure, one day it will decline. And that's just part and parcel of how nations rise and fall. We are now lucky to be in a golden age right now. The thing I want to say, the tide is in your favor. Work as hard as possible, save as much as possible, invest as much as possible, and rise and enjoy this great golden age right now. For those people who finger point at other people, other country, whatsoever, I'll just need to say this. Let's not look at other people. Let's just be grateful that we are blessed to be born in Singapore. Just take advantage of this lottery winning that you have, okay? You're just lucky born in Singapore. Imagine you're born in Nigeria or Congo or Liberia or some African country or some war-torn country right now, like Gaza or something like that. We are just lucky to win a biological lottery to be born in Singapore, right? We are grateful to our forefathers who built this country really well. So take advantage of this lottery winning they have. Work hard, save hard, study hard, educate yourself really hard. Take risk. And then when you trip and fall, try again and try again, try again. Take advantage and beef up yourself in your investment knowledge. This is our time. The time is just in favor for us to grab and become rich, right? So, don't miss this opportunity. Many people ask me, so Mr. Loo, what's the best way to become a millionaire in Singapore? Well, I don't know what's the best way. I know that in Singapore, there are many ways that you can become a millionaire. Well, I really taught everybody to the CPF 1965 movement. It is still valid despite the SA closure, right? Many people still become millionaires despite those things. You can invest in stocks, and I spend more time teaching people about equity investment than CPF, right? In Singapore, you're lucky. Our salaries, our bonuses, stock options, performance shares are all very generous. Take advantage of it, save as much as possible, and invest as much as possible. A lot of people invest through property. I agree that is a path as well. I'm not saying this is the best path, but there's a path that you can become rich. Just to take note that in this report, they considered property with loans as not part of your wealth to the computation of millionaire. Anyway, that's just them. The other one is entrepreneurship is a path to become rich as well. Many Singaporeans do very well in entrepreneurship because our environment is very pro-business. Dividend investment, some other way, even crypto. I don't know what other ways. There are many paths to become millionaires in Singapore. Choose a path that is suitable for yourself and excel in it. Okay, that's what I want to encourage. take advantage of our golden age right now. You miss this chance, you may not get it for again. Okay. So with this, I hope that this gives you some ideas how we can reach stardom. For those people who have already achieved millionairehood, you can decide what you want in life. But there's always a path to become a millionaire. That means 10 million and above. And then the other one is millionaire, $100 million above. And if you're a 100 over millionaire, consider to become a billionaire as well, right? So anyway, these are paths that you should consider. Hope you like this video. And as usual, please remember like, subscribe, and join us on Telegram channel. And I'll see you in a day or two. Bye-bye.